From harassing Kobe Bryant's wife to impregnating a 13-year-old girl, Karl Malone's history of shameless behavior stacks up against the worst of them. Known as the mailman for delivering on the court, Karl Malone is one of the NBA's all-time greats. With 2 MVP awards, 14 All-Star appearances, and a Basketball Hall of Fame induction, his on-court legacy is undeniable. But behind the accolades lies a much darker story, one that many fans either don't know or choose to ignore. Karl Malone's life began in Summerfield, Louisiana, where he was born into a large family as the youngest of 9 children. His childhood was marked by hardship and tragedy. When he was just 3 years old, his father committed suicide, leaving his mother to raise the family on her own. Growing up in such a difficult environment, Malone learned early on the challenges of survival and the weight of responsibility. This tough upbringing would shape his relentless work ethic and drive on the basketball court, but it also laid the groundwork for the complicated and often troubling personal life that will later come to light. Malone's early experiences of loss and struggle provide a crucial backdrop to understanding the darker aspects of his legacy. In February of 2023, during the NBA All-Star Weekend in Utah, Karl Malone was brought back into the spotlight by being chosen as a judge for the slam dunk contest. The league's idea was to include some hometown heroes, featuring jazz legends John Stockton and Karl Malone in the festivities. However, this decision ended up backfiring significantly when thousands of fans started scrutinizing the league for Malone's involvement. But why was there so much anger towards the NBA for including a man who has a resume almost every basketball player could only ever dream of? To uncover the truth behind Malone's character, let's take a closer look at his story, starting with his college days. The roots of Karl Malone's questionable behavior can be traced way back to 1983, when he first became involved in a scandal that would foreshadow the controversies to come. While playing basketball at Louisiana Tech University, a then 20-year-old Malone impregnated a 13-year-old girl by the name of Gloria Bell. Despite the significant age difference, Malone referred to her as his girlfriend, which is unsettling enough on its own. When the news broke, Bell's family chose not to press rape charges, largely due to the inevitable fortune Malone was expected to accumulate from his future NBA career. The situation was on the verge of being resolved without legal repercussions when Karl Malone straight up denied the paternity of their child, Demetrius Bell. Without support, Gloria Bell's family eventually sued Malone. The court ordered the jazz star to pay $125 per week, covering both past and future medical expenses. Malone reportedly found this amount excessive and challenged the ruling, despite earning $880,000 a month from the Utah Jazz at the time. Karl Malone initially refused to take a DNA test to confirm whether Demetrius Bell was his son, prolonging the legal battle and avoiding responsibility. For years, he resisted acknowledging the possibility of being the father, delaying any resolution. It wasn't until 1996, long after the initial controversy, that Malone finally agreed to undergo the test. The results showed a 99% match to his DNA, conclusively proving that Demetrius was indeed his son. Despite this, Malone had already arranged an out-of-court settlement that allowed him to avoid publicly acknowledging his paternity. Demetrius Bell, Malone's son, went on to become an NFL offensive tackle for the Buffalo Bills. When they finally met at 17, Malone reportedly told him that it was too late for them to develop a father-son relationship. However, Bell and Malone eventually reconciled and have since been spending time together on multiple occasions. But this wasn't the first time Malone faced issues with accepting his children. 3 years before the incident with Gloria Bell, Malone fathered twin girls, Daryl and Cheryl, with a woman by the name of Bonita Ford in 1980. Despite being their biological father, Malone initially refused to acknowledge them, leading to another lawsuit filed by Ford. The NBA star was held in contempt of court and eventually agreed to another out-of-court settlement. Both Daryl and Cheryl went on to play basketball at Louisiana Tech, with Cheryl enjoying a 10-year WNBA career and winning 3 championships with the Detroit Shock. Malone finally acknowledged his twin daughters in 1998 and later admitted to handling the situation very wrong. This repeated pattern of denial and delayed acceptance only further complicates Malone's legacy and raises serious questions about his character off the court. It would be bad enough if Malone's misdeeds stopped there, but they didn't. In 2004, Karl Malone made Vanessa Bryant, the widow of the late Kobe Bryant, extremely uncomfortable with his behavior. According to reports, while Malone was at the Staples Center wearing a cowboy hat and boots, Vanessa asked him, "Hey cowboy, what are you hunting?" Malone's response was, "I'm hunting for little Mexican girls," obviously referring to her Mexican heritage. On another occasion, Vanessa Bryant was given Karl Malone's phone number by his wife Kay, so she could invite Malone's son to her seating area during a Lakers game. However, their conversation reportedly took a troubling turn. Rob Pelinka, who was Kobe Bryant's agent at the time, told ESPN that Malone responded with, "Why don't you come over here and sit next to me and give me a big hug? If you do that, it will be on the cover of every magazine in the country." Pelinka added, Vanessa didn't know how to respond because it was the first time she had spoken to Malone without Kobe or Kay present. Malone then asked, "Do you like me?" Vanessa replied, "As a friend, Kay's husband." From there, Karl asked if she could keep a secret, saying he wanted to share something with her. Vanessa told him that she was married and that he was old enough to be her father. Malone responded with, "Oh, like your daddy." At that point, Vanessa said she ended the conversation. Vanessa told Kobe about the incident on their way home, and he immediately called Karl Malone. According to Pelinka, Kobe said Malone just listened and didn't deny anything. Malone's only response was, "You know me, man." Kobe replied, "That's right, I do know you, and stay away from my wife." The next day, during a call with all 4 of them, Malone denied the accusations. At that point, the Bryants realized there was no point in continuing the discussion, as they knew Malone wasn't being truthful. Vanessa then told Kay, "I want you to know exactly what your husband did, and you can do with that information whatever you want." At the time, Karl was teammates with Kobe with the Lakers, and the pair actually formed quite a bond on and off the court. This is exactly why Kobe felt very hurt and betrayed when he learned about Malone's indiscretion. This exchange forever shattered his relationship with the Bryants, and in 2015, when asked about his disagreement with Kobe, instead of taking accountability for his harassment, Malone offered to fight him.
We just go in the back with no cameras, no nothing, and let's just knuckle up and get it over with.
Did you ever make that offer to Kobe?
No, but it's standing.
With all these disturbing incidents surrounding Karl Malone, it's clear that his legacy is deeply complex and controversial. While Malone's on-court achievements are remarkable and he is celebrated as one of the greatest power forwards in NBA history, his off-court behavior casts a long shadow over his career. From his troubling interactions with Vanessa Bryant to the unresolved issues surrounding his children, Malone's actions have raised significant questions about his character and integrity. These incidents not only affected his personal relationships, but also sparked public and media scrutiny, challenging the way he is perceived by fans and the league. Malone's legacy is a clear example of how incredible athletic achievements can be overshadowed by scandalous behavior, which speaks volumes about the type of person this man truly is.